Good evening, American football bloody hell. Um, this is going to be real short and sweet, just like my season. In week 5, we had some really good matchups. Jamie Lovemark and the Schmoopies. Still don't know where that team name came from, but got to give it to Jamie for always being different and creative. Took down my team, Doormat, which will be changed next week, week 6, to Rock Bottom. Arian Foster had the workload for Jamie at 29.2 points, and the Carolina defense had 18 points, which were Jamie's top 2 scorers. Larry Donnell cooled off a little bit for the Giants with 0 points, and his hometown favorite, Eddie Royal, with 4 points. But it was still more than enough to defeat my team of underachievers that are more fitted for the waiver wire. I just have to apologize to everyone for the lack of competitive nature. I take pride in that, and this is totally embarrassing. And just want to have a little side note to the commissioner that I still think we should be in ESPN, and I'm glad. Hopefully, that's duly noted. So in our next matchup, we had Billy versus Ryan Preston, battle of the Vanderbilt Playboys. Billy's team is looking strong. I hate to admit it, but Peyton again carried the workload with 30.96 points. Billy had 6 players in double digits: Julio Jones, Macklin, Gore, Thomas, and his Chargers defense. Even though Julius Thomas played a little dirty with the chop block there, I'm sure Billy liked to see that. Still got the win over Preston. Preston had 91.32 points, which is a strong effort and would have beat a lot of the other teams, but facing Billy's team was a rough loss for him, with pretty much no production from Kevin Benjamin or his Cincinnati defense. But still strong performances from Phillip Rivers and Eddie Lacy with 21 and 25 points. In the next matchup, we had Brett Lang. I believe he changed his name this week to the Great One, which goes back a long time to his former glory days back in high school and college when he was somewhat athletic and talented in other sports other than fantasy football. Brett had 3 players over 20 points, Deshaun Jackson, and finally Matt Forte showed up for him, so I'm guessing he's not going to want to trade him anymore. And Ellington for the Cardinals had a strong game, even with the loss against the Broncos. And it was nice to see Scott had a nice loss there with even 102 points. Tough break, buddy. Green Bay defense played well for you with 22 points. Marshawn Lynch, beast, 17.7. And nice, your kicker, Phil Dawson, who I think will resemble you someday down the road. A nice, bald, full-figured fellow with 20 points. And you got to be kicking yourself for not starting Brian Quick with 20 points coming off your bench. In the biggest surprise of the week, it's got to be Sean Whalen versus Kate and the Preem team. Kate has been rallying throughout the course of the season, but Sean's been off to obviously the hottest start of anyone with a 4-0 start. But Kate took him down pretty much like everyone's taken me down so far this year. So Sean's only real light was DeMarcus Murray with I don't even know how many points he had, but he was pretty much all the points Sean had for week 5. His wide receivers, Calvin Johnson and Michael Floyd, didn't even show up at all at 0.70 points each. Kate had a really strong effort. Demarius Thomas, 34 points. That has to be one of the highest point totals for a non-quarterback. And her local boy, Jay Cutler, douchebag from the Bears, with 21 points, even in his loss for the week. Moving right along to the Battle of Stamford, Connecticut. Tiva Duff versus Michael Ballo Jr. This was a close race. It's nice to see a girl get a W against the bearded fellow Ballo. Tiva's team strongly influenced by the New England Patriots with Tom Brady at 20.98 points. I don't even know how to say the Goshkowski, whatever his name is, 21 points, and the defense for New England with 14 points. Really strong effort from Tiva. It's nice to have some company down at the bottom, but congratulations on your win. I'll be looking forward to facing Tiva in the battle of the losing bracket. And Mike Ballo Jr., Aaron Rodgers had a good week, and Des Bryant for him with 18 and 14 points. Got to be kicking himself for Kendall Wright for the Titans not playing, 21 points off the bench. Pretty poor effort not starting him. It's really tough talking trash when you're in last place in the league, by the way. Let's see who else we have. Oh, our last matchup we had Chloe Kirby versus Michael Sweeney, and this was a pretty good matchup. It was nice for Chloe to get back in the winners column. Greg Olson, career mode for him, 19.2 points, and Andrew Luck continues to be productive for her with 19.68 points. Her defense continues to struggle, even with collusion efforts on my part. She continues to ignore them. Glad somebody plays by the rules, unlike myself. It's clearly showing up in my wins and loss column. Mike Sweeney, 68 points. It's nice to have some company in the 60s for once. Yeah, I know Mike has a few kids now, and he's in a few other leagues. No excuses, buddy. Let's clean it up. First of all, you need to trade Eli. That's pathetic. And I know it's a tough break with Jimmy Graham out, but I expect better from you. Week 6 has got some really good couples battles coming up. We have myself versus Chloe. We are currently not speaking, so that'll be fun to get this week over with and get back to normal behavior. Billy and Kate, I'm sure that household over in London is really got a little spark over there. Billy with the trash talking. Sorry, I'm drinking a little tea myself. Got a little cold from losing. Then we got a battle of the Mikes. Mike Ballo Jr. versus Michael Sweeney. I expect Sweeney to come back strong against Michael, who should be a pushover this week. We got a good matchup with Scott and Ryan. I have no idea who's going to win that one. I don't really care. Kind of over it. Jamie versus Brett, which should be a good one also. Interesting to see that. And then finally, Tiva versus Sean. Sean is looking to come back and regain his lead in the league. And yeah, good luck to everyone else, and I'll see you at the bottom.